The giant screen at Earth Defense Command showed a ship unlike any human had ever built. It was shaped like a twisted spike, dark and shiny, moving closer to Earth's moon base. Captain Ji-ho Kim stood tall, his uniform crisp and perfect. Next to him sat Daigle, his enhanced German Shepherd. The dog's eyes never left the screen. "Captain, your service record is outstanding," said General Park. "That's why we chose you for this mission. You and Daigle will meet these aliens." Ji-ho nodded. "We're ready, sir." Daigle was not an ordinary dog. He was part of the War Pets program. Scientists had made him smarter, stronger, and able to understand complex commands. His senses were 10 times better than a normal dog's. The next day, Ji-ho and Daigle rode the shuttle to the moon base. Scientists and soldiers rushed around, getting ready for the aliens who called themselves the Vexari. "Stay calm, Daigle," Ji-ho said, patting the dog's head. But Daigle seemed tense. His ears were up, his body stiff. This was strange. Daigle's training was perfect. He never showed fear or anger unless commanded. The meeting room had a large table in the center. Earth's leaders sat on one side. Ji-ho and Daigle stood behind them. When the door opened, Ji-ho's heart beat faster. The Vexari were tall and thin. Their skin was pale green with patches of darker scales. They had 4 arms and walked on 2 legs. Their faces had no nose, just breathing slits, and their eyes were large and black. The leader stepped forward. "I am Ambassador Grolok of the Vexari Dominion. We rule 37 star systems. We come in peace to welcome Earth to the galactic community." As the talks began, Ji-ho noticed Daigle's strange behavior getting worse. The dog's eyes never left the aliens. A low growl built in his throat. "Is your animal dangerous?" asked Grolok, looking at Daigle. "No, Ambassador. Daigle is perfectly trained. I'm not sure why he's acting this way." Grolok moved closer. "Fascinating creature. We have war beasts too, but none with such personality. May I?" The alien reached out one of its 4 hands. Ji-ho gave Daigle the command to allow touching. The dog obeyed, but Ji-ho could feel him trembling. The talks continued for days. The Vexari offered to help humans reach the stars. They said humans could build a colony on Proxima Centauri, the closest planet outside our solar system. After one meeting, Ji-ho took Daigle to the moon base garden for exercise. Dr. Sun, the head of the War Pets program, was waiting there. "Captain, I've been watching Daigle's readings," she said. "His brain activity is unusual." "I've noticed his behavior is off," Ji-ho replied. "He doesn't like the Vexari." "It's more than that," Dr. Sun said. "His brain is processing information in new ways. It's like he's trying to solve a problem." "What problem?" "I don't know, but I trust these animals. If Daigle is worried, maybe we should be too." On the final day, Earth signed a treaty with the Vexari. Humans would build their first colony beyond the solar system. Earth would join the galactic community. Everyone celebrated. Everyone except Daigle, who kept his eyes locked on Ambassador Grolok. As they prepared to return to Earth, Ji-ho found something strange on his uniform. A small patch of sticky residue where Grolok had touched his shoulder. He collected it in a sample bag. "What do you sense, boy?" Ji-ho asked Daigle quietly. "What are you trying to tell me?" Daigle whined softly, pressing against Ji-ho's leg as they watched the Vexari ship depart. 5 years later, the colony ships were ready. New Seoul would be humanity's first step to the stars. Ji-ho and Daigle would be among the first to go. But the sample from that day was still in a lab on Earth, forgotten. The test results showing unknown compounds that mimicked predator pheromones sat unread in a database. The Vexari were coming back, and only Earth's war pets seemed to know what that really meant. 5 years had passed since the first meeting with the Vexari. The human colony on Proxima Centauri was now home to over 2,000 people. They called it New Seoul. Governor Yunho Park stood at the window of his office, looking out at the settlement. Buildings of white and gray stood against the red-tinted sky. The alien sun gave everything a strange glow. "The farm reports are good," said his assistant. "The earth crops are growing well here." "And the animals?" asked Yunho. "Dr. Hainul Choi wants to talk to you about that." An hour later, Hainul walked into the office. She was the colony's head veterinarian and animal specialist. Her job was to care for all the enhanced animals that had come with the colonists. "Governor, I need to show you something," she said. She placed a tablet on his desk. On the screen were brain scans, side by side. "What am I looking at?" Yunho asked. "The left image is Daigle's brain scan from Earth, 5 years ago. The right is from yesterday. See how different they are." The right image showed many more connections, bright spots of activity. "Is he sick?" asked Yunho. "No, he's evolving. And not just him. All our enhanced animals are showing the same changes. The dogs, the falcons, even the battle cats. Their brains are growing in ways we never expected." Hanul had come to New Seoul with 20 enhanced dogs, 10 falcons, and 5 experimental battle cats. These animals were meant to help protect the colony and assist with hunting and security. "What's causing this?" Yunho asked. "I don't know yet. I'm working with Dr. Taiwan Lee. He thinks it might be something in this planet's environment." Taiwan was the colony's xenobiologist. He studied the alien life forms on their new world. Later that day, Hainul met Taiwan in the research lab. Captain Jeho was there too, with Daigle at his side. "Watch this," said Hainul. She placed 3 cups upside down on the table. Under one, she hid a small toy. She moved the cups around quickly, mixing them up. "Find it, Daigle," said Jeho. The dog looked at the cups. Then, instead of just picking one, he pushed all 3 cups off the table with his paw. "He's rejecting the game," said Hainul. "He knows it's too simple." "Try this," said Taiwan. He opened a computer and showed a screen with strange symbols. "This is the Vexari writing system. We've been studying it." He turned the screen toward Daigle. The dog stared at it. His eyes moved from symbol to symbol. "Is he reading?" asked Jeho. "I think he's trying to," said Hainul. "Something in this star system is affecting their brains, making them more than we designed them to be." That night, Hainul couldn't sleep. She went to the animal quarters to check on her patients. In the large enclosure, she found Daigle sitting in a circle with 3 other dogs and 2 battle cats. They weren't making sounds. They weren't playing. They were just sitting, facing each other, completely still. Hainul held her breath. It looked like they were having a meeting. One of the battle cats noticed her. It made a small sound, and all the animals turned to look at her. Then they got up and walked away in different directions, as if nothing had happened. The next morning, a message arrived from the Vexari ship in orbit. Ambassador Grolok wanted to visit the colony. He was bringing some of his people for a special event, a ceremonial hunt. "They say it's a cultural exchange," said Governor Yunho at the emergency meeting. "We can't refuse without looking unfriendly." "What kind of hunt?" asked Jeho. "They're bringing their own hunting animals, something called Grimfangs." In the corner of the room, Daigle's ears perked up at the word. He let out a low growl that made everyone turn. "Keep your animals under control during the visit," Yunho told Hainul. "We don't want to offend our alien friends." But as Hainul looked at Daigle, she wasn't sure who the real friends were. The Vexari ship landed just outside New Seoul. It was 3 times bigger than the largest human ship. Its dark metal shell gleamed in the red sunlight. Ambassador Grolok was the first to step out. Behind him came 20 Vexari soldiers. They carried long metal spears and wore armor made of a strange, shifting material. "Welcome to New Seoul," said Governor Yunho, bowing slightly. "We are honored to join your colony for this important cultural exchange," said Grolok. He moved his 4 arms in a complex greeting. "The ceremonial hunt will bind our peoples together. Jai-Ho stood to the side, watching. Daigle was not with him. Hanul had suggested keeping all the enhanced animals away from the landing area. "Where are these grim things you mentioned?" asked Yunho. Grolok made a sound like metal scraping on glass. It was a Vexeri laugh. "They are coming now." From the ship came a low, rumbling growl. Then 6 massive creatures walked out. They were twice the size of Earth's largest tigers. Each had 6 legs, a body covered in thick armor plates, and a head with multiple eyes and long fangs that dripped green liquid. "These are our war beasts," said Grolok proudly. "The finest hunters in the Dominion. The hunt will begin tomorrow at dawn." Later, at the emergency meeting, Jai-Ho didn't hide his concerns. "These aren't pets," he said. "They're weapons. Why would they bring weapons for a friendly hunt?" "The Vexeri say it's tradition," said Governor Yunho. "All new species must join in this hunt to become official friends of the Dominion." "I don't like it," said Hanul. "And neither do our animals. They're all agitated since the Vexeri landed." "We have no choice," said Yunho. "We must show we're worthy allies." That night, Hanul went deep into the forest with Tadawon. They had been exploring a cave system that showed signs of ancient life. "Look at these markings," said Tadawon, shining his light on the cave wall. "They're not from this planet's native life. Someone carved these." The wall showed simple pictures, tall 4-armed figures standing over smaller 2-armed ones, and strange 6-legged beasts attacking what looked like dogs and cats. "How old are these?" asked Hanul. "At least 10,000 years," said Tadawon. "The Vexeri have been here before, long before humans." "And look at this." Hanul pointed to another picture. It showed the dog-like animals winning against the 6-legged beasts. As they studied the cave walls, Hanul's tablet beeped. It was connected to the monitors in the animal quarters. "The animals are showing extreme stress," she said. "Heart rates through the roof. Brain activity off the charts." They rushed back to the colony. In the animal quarters, all the enhanced creatures were awake. The dogs paced in tight circles. The falcons flapped their wings against their cages. The battle cats hissed and clawed at the walls. Daigle sat in the center, strangely calm compared to the others. When he saw Hanul, he came to her and put his paw on her hand. "What is it, boy?" she asked. "What are you trying to tell me?" On the other side of the colony, Jai-Ho couldn't sleep. He walked to the edge of the settlement and looked at the Vexeri ship. Something caught his eye. Vexeri soldiers moving equipment out of their ship. It wasn't hunting gear. It looked like weapons. Large ones. Dawn came quickly. The hunting party gathered at the edge of the forest. The Vexeri brought their grimfangs, held back by energy leashes. "As is tradition," said Grolok, "you will bring your finest warriors and hunting beasts. We will go into the wilderness together and prove our worth as allies." Governor Yunho nodded. "Captain Jai-Ho will lead our team, along with our security force." "And your hunting beasts?" asked Grolok. Hanul stepped forward with Daigle and 2 other enhanced dogs. "These 3 only," she said. "The others are not ready." Grolok's black eyes seemed to narrow. "Very well. Let the hunt begin." As they walked into the forest, Jai-Ho whispered to Hanul, "Stay alert. This isn't a hunt. It's a test." Behind them, the rising sun cast long shadows from the Vexeri ship, shadows that stretched toward New Seoul like reaching fingers. The hunting party moved deeper into the forest. Red leaves crunched under their feet. Strange birds with 4 wings flew overhead. Jai-Ho kept his hand near his gun. He didn't trust the Vexeri. Daigle walked close to him, alert and tense. "The prey is ahead," said Grolok, pointing with one of his 4 arms. "We track a herd of what you humans call ridgebacks, large herbivores." They climbed a small hill. From the top, they could see the colony in the distance, and something else, more Vexeri ships landing. "Ambassador," said Jai-Ho, "we weren't told about more ships coming." Grolok's face changed. His mouth opened in what looked like a smile, but there was no warmth in it. Because you didn't need to know, human. It happened fast. The Vexeri soldiers raised their weapons. Energy beams hit two of Jai-Ho's security team. They fell without a sound. "Run," Ji-Ho shouted, pulling out his gun. Hamnul grabbed Dagel's collar, but the dog was already moving. He jumped at the nearest Vexari, knocking the alien down. The forest erupted in chaos. The Grimfangs were released from their leashes. They charged at the humans with terrible speed. "This way," Taiwan called. He had found a small crack in a rocky wall, an entrance to the cave system they had explored. Jai-Ho, Hamnul, and 5 others made it to the crack. The enhanced dogs fought the Vexari, buying time for the humans to escape. "Daigle, come." Ji-Ho whistled the command. The big German shepherd broke away from combat and raced to the crack. Behind him, the other 2 enhanced dogs fell to the Grimfangs. Inside the cave, they could hear the sounds of battle fading. Then came the sounds of many ships. "The colony," whispered Hamnul. "They're attacking New Seoul." For hours, they moved through the dark caves. Daigle led the way, his enhanced senses guiding them. Finally, they found a spot where they could see the colony through a small opening in the rocks. New Seoul was under full attack. Vexeri ships filled the sky. Soldiers rounded up humans in the central square. "Why are they doing this?" asked one of the security officers. "Look," said Jai-Ho, pointing. Governor Yunho stood on a platform in the center of the square. Ambassador Grolok stood next to him, holding one of his spears. "This is the price of weakness," the Vexeri announced to the captured colonists. "Your species is now property of the Dominion." With a quick movement, he drove the spear through Governor Yunho's chest. Hamnul turned away, unable to watch. "We need to go deeper into the caves," she said. "Find a safe place." "And then what?" asked Taiwan. "We're 7 people against an alien army." "8, said Jai-Ho, patting Daigle's head. "And we need to get to the animal quarters. Free the others." "That's suicide," said one of the security officers. As they argued, Daigle suddenly tensed. He turned and looked into the darkness of the cave. A low growl built in his throat. "What is it, boy?" Jai-Ho asked. From the shadows emerged 3 shapes. The battle cats. Somehow they had escaped during the attack and found their way to the caves. "How did they find us?" asked Taiwan in wonder. Hamnul knelt beside Daigle. "They're working together," she said. "Daigle, did you call them?" The dog looked at her with intelligent eyes, but gave no answer. One of the battle cats carried something in its mouth. It dropped the object at Hamnul's feet, a security badge from the animal quarters. "It wants us to follow," said Hamnul. The group made their way deeper into the cave system, led by Daigle and the battle cats. They came to a large cavern with a small underground lake. On the walls were more of the ancient drawings. "We can make this our base," said Jai-Ho. "Plan our next move." "What next move?" asked one of the security officers. "Earth is 4 light years away. Help won't come for years, if ever." Jai-Ho looked at Daigle and the battle cats. The animals had gathered together again, sitting in that same circle formation Hamnul had seen before. "We're not alone," he said, "and I think our friends are getting smarter by the day." 2 weeks passed in the cave system. The small group of humans survived on food the battle cats brought back from hunting. Water came from the underground lake. Hamnul worked every day in a small area she had set up as a lab. She used the few tools she had grabbed during their escape. Taiwan helped her. "Look at this," she said one morning. On her tablet, she showed brain scans of Daigle from before and after coming to this planet. "The changes are getting faster," said Taiwan. "His brain is rewiring itself." "It's not just his brain," said Hamnul. "It's everything. His cells, his DNA. Something on this planet is changing them." Jai-Ho came into the lab area. "The animals are gone again," he said. This had been happening more often. Daigle and the battle cats would disappear for hours, sometimes a whole day. "They always come back," said Hanul, "with food or supplies." "I know, but I wonder where they go." That night, they found out. Daigle woke Jaiho by pulling on his sleeve. The dog wanted him to follow. Jaiho woke Hanul, and they followed Daigle through a narrow tunnel they hadn't explored before. It opened into a huge cavern filled with blue crystals that gave off a soft light. In the center of the cavern were all their animals. Daigle, the 3 battle cats, and now 2 falcons that had somehow escaped and found them. The animals sat in a circle. They were completely still, as if in deep thought. The blue light from the crystals reflected in their eyes. "What is this place?" whispered Hanul. As if in answer, one of the battle cats walked to the wall and placed its paw on a specific crystal. The whole wall lit up, showing hundreds of the cave drawings they had seen before. "They're showing us something," said Jaiho. The drawings told a story. The Vexeri had come to Earth long ago, bringing their Grimfangs. They had tried to take over, but Earth's animals had fought back. Wolves, lions, tigers, eagles, they had all fought the alien beasts. "That's why Earth has such effective predators," said Hanul. "They evolved to fight the Vexeri beasts. And now that our enhanced animals are back on this planet, they're remembering. Their DNA is remembering." Daigle walked to them. His eyes seemed different somehow, deeper, more aware. He looked at Jaiho and then at a small pile in the corner of the cavern. There lay pieces of Vexeri equipment, weapons, communication devices, even food. "They've been raiding the Vexeri," said Jaiho in amazement, "bringing back things for us to use." "Not just raiding," said Hanul, looking at a dark stain on one battle cat's fur. "Fighting." The next day, they watched from a hidden spot as Daigle led a planned attack. The enhanced animals moved like shadows through the forest. They surrounded a small Vexeri patrol. The attack was quick and coordinated. The battle cats jumped from high branches. The falcons dove at the aliens' eyes. Daigle targeted the lead Vexeri, going for the throat with terrible precision. In less than a minute, the patrol was down. The animals took the weapons and disappeared back into the forest. "They're not just remembering," said Jaiho. "They're planning, thinking." Back in the cave, Hanul made a discovery. "The radiation from Proxima Centauri interacts with minerals in the blue crystals," she said. "It's changing the animals' brain patterns, activating dormant parts of their DNA. Making them smarter," said Tadwan. "Not just smarter," said Hanul. "More connected. They can communicate with each other somehow, share information." That night, Jaiho found Hanul sitting alone by the underground lake. He sat beside her. "You've been avoiding me," he said. "I've been busy trying to understand what's happening to the animals. Is that all?" Hanul looked at him. In the dim light of the cave, his face was half in shadow. "No," she said softly. Jaiho took her hand. "Whatever happens, we face it together." Outside the cave, Daigle sat watching the stars. His eyes reflected the light of Proxima Centauri, the star that was awakening something ancient within him, something that had been waiting for thousands of years. The fury of Earth's defenders was awake, and the Vexeri would soon learn what that meant. A month after the Vexeri attack, the human resistance had grown. More people had escaped and found their way to the caves. They now had 28 men and women, plus 7 children. Jaiho had become their leader. Each day, he planned new raids with Daigle and the other animals. "We need to contact Earth," he told the group one morning. "They must know what happened here." "The main communication array is in the center of the colony," said a technician named Junki. "The Vexeri control it now." "But there's a backup," said Hanul. "In the Animal Research Building, a small emergency system." "Can we reach it?" asked Jaiho. "The animals can," said Hanul. That night, Daigle led 2 battle cats to the edge of the colony. They moved silently through the shadows. Vexari guards patrolled the streets, their grimfangs walking beside them. The animal research building was at the far edge of the colony. It had been damaged in the attack, but was still standing. Dagel waited until the guards passed, then led the way to a broken window. The three animals slipped inside. The backup communication system was small, about the size of a backpack. Dagel remembered Haynewell showing it to him once. He found it in a cabinet and pulled it out with his teeth. One of the battle cats suddenly tensed. A grimfang was approaching. Its heavy steps shook the floor. The battle cat crouched, ready to fight. But Dagel nudged it, directing it to another exit. They escaped just as the grimfang entered the building, carrying the communication pack back to the caves. Jumkey worked on the system for days. Finally, he looked up with a smile. "I've got it working," he said. "We can send one short message to Earth." Jaiho called everyone together. "This is our chance to call for help," he said, "but we need to know what we're facing." Hanul stepped forward. "I think I know," she said. "The Vexari aren't just taking our colony. They're taking us. Humans." "What do you mean?" asked Jaiho. "Look at these readings from their ship." Haynewell showed data that Dagel had stolen from a Vexari computer. "They're testing humans, studying our biology. They want to understand how we made our enhanced animals," said Taiwan. "They want that knowledge." The message to Earth was sent that night. It explained everything. The attack, the true nature of the Vexari, and the incredible changes in their enhanced animals. The response came 3 days later. Message received. Help will come in 6 months. Survive. Gather intelligence. Earth is preparing. 6 months, said Jaiho to the group. We need to last 6 months. We can't just hide, said one of the security officers. We need to fight back. Jaiho nodded. And we will. But we need a plan. That night, Jaiho, Haynewell, and Taiwan sat with Dagel and the other animals in the crystal cavern. Jaiho spread out a map of the colony. We need to weaken them before Earth forces arrive, he said. Dagel, can you show me where the Vexari are most vulnerable? To everyone's amazement, Dagel placed his paw on specific spots on the map. Guard posts, supply depots, communication towers. He understands the map, whispered Taiwan. He understands strategy, said Haynewell. Over the next weeks, the attacks grew bolder. The enhanced animals led each raid, with humans providing support. They destroyed Vexari equipment, stole supplies, and freed captured colonists. The Vexari were getting angry. Ambassador Grolok, now calling himself Governor Grolok, offered rewards for information on the resistance. These humans are clever, he told his commanders. But they are still just animals themselves. One of the commanders spoke up. It's not the humans we should worry about. It's their beasts. They fight differently than before. Nonsense, said Grolok. They are just well-trained pets. That same night, Dagel led the largest attack yet. 30 enhanced animals, dogs, cats, and falcons, hit a Vexari outpost at the edge of the colony. The fighting was fierce but quick. When it was over, the resistance had captured their first Vexari spacecraft, a small scout ship. This changes everything, said Jaiho, looking at the alien vessel. Now we can really fight back. Dagel sat beside him, his intelligent eyes fixed on the horizon. The real war was just beginning. The captured Vexari ship gave the resistance a new advantage. Jumkey learned how to fly it. Now they could move quickly and attack from the air. For 2 months, they hit the Vexari again and again. Each time, they freed more humans and found more enhanced animals. Governor Grolok grew desperate. His reports to the Vexari Dominion showed failure after failure. Enough, he shouted at his commanders. Release the Grimfangs, all of them. Let them hunt these humans down. That night, 50 Grimfangs were set free in the forests of Proxima Centauri. They were the apex predators of the Vexari worlds, huge, six-legged beasts with armored hides and poison fangs. At dawn, Dajel stood at the entrance of the cave, sniffing the air. He let out a low growl. "What is it, boy?" asked Jaiho, coming to stand beside him. Hanul joined them with her tablet. "The sensors are picking up movement. Lots of it, all through the forest." "Vexari soldiers?" asked Jaiho. "No, bigger, faster." Dajel turned to the other enhanced animals. They gathered around him in a tight circle. No sounds were made, but Jaiho could sense information being shared. "They've released the Grimfangs," said Hanul. "They're hunting us." Taiwan rushed in from another tunnel. "3 of our scouts are trapped at the eastern waterfall. Grimfangs have them surrounded." Jaiho grabbed his gear. "We need to help them." "It's too dangerous," said Hanul. "Those things are killing machines." Dajel stepped forward. He looked at Jaiho and then at the other enhanced animals. His meaning was clear. They would handle this. "Let them go," said Hanul. "This is what they were made for." Dajel led a team of 6 battle cats and 4 other enhanced dogs out of the cave. They moved like shadows through the forest, communicating without sound. The Grimfangs had cornered the human scouts on a rock ledge above the waterfall. The massive beasts circled below, their poison fangs dripping. Dajel split his team. The battle cats climbed into the trees, moving above the Grimfangs. The dogs spread out in a wide circle. The attack was perfectly coordinated. 2 dogs burst from the bushes, drawing the attention of the Grimfangs. When the alien beasts turned to chase, the battle cats dropped from the trees onto their backs. The fight was vicious. The Grimfangs were stronger, but Earth's enhanced animals were smarter. They worked together, never attacking alone. One battle cat would distract a Grimfang while another would attack its vulnerable throat or eyes. The dogs would hamstring the beasts, cutting the tendons in their legs. When it was over, 3 Grimfangs lay dead. The others had fled. This was just the first battle. Over the next week, similar fights broke out across the forests and mountains. The Grimfangs hunted the humans, and Earth's enhanced animals hunted the Grimfangs. In the cave base, Hanul and Taiwan studied the dead Grimfangs that the animals brought back. "Their biology is amazing," said Taiwan. "Perfect killing machines. But they have weaknesses," said Hanul. "Their joints aren't well protected, and their eyes can't see as well as our animals' eyes can." Jaiho entered with grim news. "We lost contact with Outpost 3. A Grimfang attack." Hanul's face went pale. Taiwan was there today, collecting samples. They took the captured ship and flew to Outpost 3. The small camp was destroyed. Bodies lay everywhere, both human and Grimfang. Hanul found Taiwan near the edge of the camp. He was badly wounded, his body torn by Grimfang claws. "I tried to save the others," he whispered as Hanul held him. "There were too many." "Save your strength," she said, tears filling her eyes. "Tell me, did our animals win?" Hanul looked around. 6 dead Grimfangs lay nearby, their bodies torn apart by Earth's predators. "Yes, they won," she said softly. Taiwan smiled and closed his eyes for the last time. That night, the resistance held a small funeral. They buried Taiwan in a quiet spot near the cave entrance. Jaiho put his arm around Hanul as she cried. "He died fighting," he said. "We'll make sure it wasn't for nothing." In the forest, Dajel sat on a hill, watching the Vexari base in the distance. Around him gathered all the enhanced animals of Earth, dogs, cats, and falcons. Their eyes gleamed in the darkness. The final battle was coming. 3 months had passed since the Vexari attack. The resistance now had over 50 humans and nearly 100 enhanced animals. "Earth's forces will arrive in 3 more months," Jaiho told the group. "But we can't wait. The Vexari are calling for more ships." Hanul stepped forward. "From the ship we captured, we learned that Governor Gralloch has called the main Vexari fleet. They plan to take Earth next." A heavy silence fell over the cave. If Earth was attacked, all humanity could be enslaved. "We need to strike now," said Jai-Ho. "Take out their communication array so they can't call for help." In the planning room, Dajil sat beside the map. 8 years old now, the enhanced German shepherd had gray around his muzzle, but his eyes were sharper than ever. Dajil placed his paw on the main Vexari building, the center of their operations. "That's where Grolok will be," said Jai-Ho, "but it's heavily guarded." The dog moved his paw to show a path through the mountains, coming up behind the Vexari base. "He wants us to attack from the rear," said Henul, "where the Grimfang pens are." "That's the most dangerous approach," said Junki. Dajil looked at him with intelligent eyes. Then he turned to the other enhanced animals. They stood at attention, waiting for their orders. "I trust him," said Jai-Ho. "Dajil has never been wrong." The attack began at dawn. All the enhanced animals moved as one force through the mountain path. Behind them came the humans with weapons taken from the Vexari. At the Grimfang pens, the battle cats led the attack. They jumped on the guards before they could sound an alarm. The enhanced falcons flew ahead, their sharp eyes spotting Vexari positions. They would dive at the aliens, clawing at their eyes to blind them. Dajil led the dogs straight to the main building. They knew what to do. They had planned this for weeks in the Crystal Cavern. Inside the building, Governor Grolok was furious. "How did they get past our defenses?" he demanded. "They're animals," said his commander. "They fight like nothing we've seen before. They are just beasts." The door to his command room exploded. Jai-Ho walked in, flanked by Henul and 2 battle cats. "It's over, Grolok," said Jai-Ho. The Vexari governor laughed. "You think you've won. Our empire spans 37 worlds. You are nothing." "Why did you attack us?" asked Henul. "We only wanted peace." "Peace?" Grolok seemed amused. "We don't want peace with lesser species. We use them, and your animals. They are special. We want to know how you made them." "We didn't make them what they are now," said Henul. "They evolved." "Impossible." Grolok's voice rose. "No species evolves that quickly unless—" His black eyes widened. "Unless they had already evolved once before, to fight us." "What do you mean?" asked Jai-Ho. "Your Earth. We visited it long ago, left our mark on its evolution. The predators there, they were meant to be our servants, but they turned against us. And now they've remembered their ancient enemy," said Henul. A loud explosion shook the building. Through the window, they could see the Vexari ships burning. Dajil appeared at the doorway, his fur matted with blood. Behind him stood dozens of enhanced animals, dogs, cats, and falcons. They moved into the room, surrounding Grolok. "Your animals can't understand what we are," said Grolok. "They are still just beasts." Dajil stepped forward. He looked at Grolok with eyes that held thousands of years of genetic memory. Then he looked at Jai-Ho. Jai-Ho nodded. "End this." The attack was swift. Grolok had no chance against Earth's champions. 3 months later, the ships from Earth arrived. They found New Seoul rebuilt and the humans free. The Vexari were gone, their ships destroyed or captured. In the main square of the colony, a statue stood, a dog, a cat, and a falcon standing together. Jai-Ho and Henul watched as Dajil played with puppies in the grass nearby. They were his children, the next generation of defenders. "Will they be like him?" asked Jai-Ho. "Even better," said Henul. "They were born here, under Proxima Centauri. Their evolution has just begun." One of the puppies looked up at them with intelligent eyes. In those eyes, Jai-Ho could see the future, Earth's animals and humans, partners in the stars. The fury had awakened, and the galaxy would never be the same.